Well, hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about boxing. I'm going to walk you through the fundamentals of boxing and then we're going to do a couple of exercises. But before we use these things, I like to teach people techniques. So we're going to ditch those for now. And when I first learned to box, a professional fighter taught me how to do it. And if we get the technique right, then you'll carry that forward in every single workout that you do that involves some boxing. So it starts with, believe it or not, nothing to do with your hands. It's all to do with your feet. So what I'm going to demonstrate is how we should have our feet. I'm going to do it front on and then side on for you. So I'm right-handed. So what that means is that I'm going to start with my left foot forward. So if you're left foot forward, right foot back, okay? Now if you're left-handed, you would do it the other way around. So most people are going to be right-handed. So that means having the feet like this. I'm showing you on a bit of an angle so you can get a bit of a perspective. So what you want to do is make sure, if you have your feet too close together like this, what do you think that means if you're boxing? Well, you're going to go from side to side. You're going to lose balance pretty easily like that. So what you want to do, about here, then maybe take half a step apart. So I'm just over shoulder width in terms of my stance. And my toes are pointing in the same direction as my knees. So like this. So the idea then is, if I go sideways, when we're boxing, what we want to do is make sure that we're actually off our heels. Because if you look at like a professional boxing fight, what are they normally doing? They're normally like this. They're dancing around the ring. They're light on their feet, which means that they're off their heels. So they're like this, okay? So what I want you to imagine is that we're jab, cross, jab, cross, jab, cross. Just look at my feet and you'll see that I'm keeping the heels off the ground. Or they might be slightly tapping at the back, going left, right. Okay, so then when it comes to your punches, what you want to do, we're going to have gloves on and it forces your thumb in the right position, but you never want to box like that with your thumbs underneath because you'll break your thumb. You want them around the outside like that. But what you want to do with your jab cross is we're going a jab like this and then the cross, remember that, a cross comes across your body. So we're going jab, cross. Now what happens with your feet is when you jab, you put weight on your front foot. Okay, so it's left jab, left foot, and then right, and you transfer. So you're going left, right, left, right. The easiest tip that I was given by my pro fighter that taught me was that think about it like riding a bike. So how do you ride a bike? You don't go left, left, left. You go left, right. So your feet do the same as your arms, okay? And then you get lighter and lighter on your feet, and you can get up a good pace like this. So this is your jab cross, okay? So in slow motion, what the jab looks like is, if I show you front on, so you want to have your hands protecting your face at all times. So when this one comes out, so we punch out like that and you turn your hand to the top. So little finger is to the top. Now side on, you can see that the elbow's up. So as soon as I turn this down, what happens? The shoulder drops. So what I'm teaching here is proper fighting technique. Not that I want you to get in fights, we're just doing this for fitness, but it's good to get the technique right. So what you're going to do is, when you jab like that, it's harder for someone to come across the top and hit you because your elbow's up a little bit more. So it's jab, cross. So little finger to the top. Imagine you're pouring out a teacup or something at the top of the punch. So I'll show you front on. So jab, cross, jab, cross, jab, cross, jab, cross. The best tip I can give you for this to improve your technique, do it in front of a mirror. And then what you want to do is imagine where you're punching is where your face is on the mirror. And you're going jab, cross, like that. It becomes really, really easy to do once you keep doing it for a while. So the next thing I'm going to show you is, that's a jab cross. And then the next one is to do with an uppercut. So an uppercut is basically where you come up like that with a fist. And the idea is that you would hit somebody under the jaw to flick their head back. But we're going to do it with pads. I'll show you in a second. So you're going to come under like that, under. If I show you side on, so like this. Same thing as you're punching with the left hand, weight is on the left foot. So it's up and you change feet. Up, 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 up. Now what you want to try and avoid is doing this kind of thing. Just whacking like that. You're just swinging your arms basically. You want to jab, always have this other hand protecting, and jab, and jab. The other thing you want to do is get your hip into it, so you're getting all that momentum. Imagine it's like if you've ever played golf and it's swinging that club through, same kind of thing. So it's going under like that, and then under and under and under, okay? So that's your uppercut. The next one we're going to do is a hook. So your stand still stays the same, and what you're going to do there, hands here, and this one in slow motion is coming around and hitting like that. Hand like this. The idea is to hit somebody in the side of the face, okay? So here, and it's around, and then it comes back here, and then around, and around, and around. So here you're using your hips a little bit more, okay? To get that twist, like that. Now block, I love the block. The block is where you're basically blocking someone else's punch. So someone's coming up and you block it down like that. It's a really easy one to do. Imagine you're holding a hammer and you're coming down like that. Same stance is you're just punching away like this, just blocking like that. So that's a nice easy one to do. Another one that we can do sometimes is called a rip. Now a rip is like into the rib cage. Normally we hold the pads like this, and for here it's coming down like that and just ripping into the ribs like that, making sure that we bring the hands back up to the chin to protect ourselves. So what I've just showed you there are what we call shadow boxing moves. It takes a while to get everything right, like to get your feet right and feeling comfortable. Don't worry about that. The more that you practice, the better you'll get at it. What I'm going to just show you now is if you wanted to do as part of a warm-up, in some of the programs we talk about shadow boxing. So if I just demonstrate, so you'll be doing your jab cross. We might say you do jab crosses for 30 seconds. So you'll be doing something like this. Then there might be some uppercuts in there as well. And then you might do some hooks. And you might do some blocks like that, and then back to jab crosses. And if you do this right, like even right now, so my heart rate is just elevated because even though I'm not hitting anybody, because I'm punching so quickly and I'm watching my technique, then I can still really get a great workout. So keep that in mind. Don't think just because I don't have a partner, I can't do any shadow boxing. So we're going to demonstrate with the partner now how we do some of those moves. Alrighty, so now we've got the equipment. So what's really important is it's worth investing in a decent set of gloves. So these are proper gloves. You can see here what's great about these is that they are sewn. The thumb is sewn here. So what can happen is if you just use mittens, for instance, what can happen is as you punch your thumbs out, your thumb can bend right back. Very, very bad news. So these ones are sewn in, so that can't happen. And these also have a nice, strong support around the wrist. You see, these are 12-ounce ones. They're on the heavier side, so most women normally go for a 10-ounce, something like that. But these also give you plenty of support around your wrist as well. So if you punch and your wrist flicks back a bit, it gives you more support. These here are your pads. So really solid ones. What I like about these is you can see the side profile. They've got a little bit of a curve on them and they're quite stiff, and they've got the dot there where you aim for. And these ones fit quite comfortably. There's a little thing that fits in the palm of your hand, so they fit really comfortably. So worth investing in some good quality equipment. There's plenty available around. Okay, so we are set. Now I'll give you a couple of tips here. If there's a male and female doing this, I can tell you that most males that I've ever done boxing with want to hit you as hard as they possibly can. And that's not a good thing, okay? Because that's going to end up in fights and sore arms on both sides. Now I can tell you that I have a very sore shoulder from surgery, so I can't hit very hard. What I want you to focus on is focus on your form and the speed rather than the power. So Elizabeth and I are just going to show you some the different moves. So we're going to do jab crosses to start with. Alright, so I don't know whether you heard me say then, but I said my shoulders hurt. This is the first boxing I've done since my shoulder surgery, and that hurts. So you've just got to communicate with your partner, like if they're hitting you too fast, too hard or too fast, then you just got to communicate with them. So that's how you do jab crosses. So we're going to do it again, but I'm not actually going to hit this time because it is hurting. So we go jab like that. So notice that Elizabeth will want to hit me. So go back. Yeah, and you want your partner to come in and hit you at the same time, and then that has the best result for you. What you don't want to do is just hold them static for me. So you don't want your partner to do this, just standing there, because that feels horrible for them, and it doesn't feel good for you either. So you want them to meet the punch, okay, like that. It's much more impactful. Let's do uppercuts. So we'll go to uppercuts. So with this one, so a guide of the height is the bottom of the chin of the person that's on the pad. So I'm a bit shorter, so I've got to reach a little bit higher. So it'll be up like that, and I'm not going to hit with that one. Up, up. So if I wasn't injured, I'd be going faster than this and lifting my right up a bit higher. The key with this one is making sure that you're hitting with the knuckles. So just hold it there, just a little bit lower for me. So I'll be coming up and hitting there. A temptation is that you want to hit there and you just put your gloves down a bit. So what some people do is this, and they just go slapping like this, and it's not a good look. So you want to make sure you're getting under with the knuckles, okay? So that's that one. Let's do a block. The block's a lot of fun. So this one, you come down like that, same stance. You'll see my stance is the same. Your partner should have the same stance, okay? So we're just doing this. And what's great about this one, I can't do it because of the shoulder, but you can go flat out with this, and as much power as you like. The person on the pads is in control. Okay, they're in control of the tempo. You've just got to keep communicating with them to make sure that you get that right. The next one we're going to do is a hook. So for this one, that'd be a rip, so hold them up higher. Yeah, so beside the head. So for this one, I'd be coming around like that and hitting that way. And see how I'm twisted? Then I'd come back around and do that one with this hand up here. So again, this one's really tough on the left side. But that probably give you some idea on the right side as to the sort of speed that and intensity you want to hit with. Now your rips, you're just going to hold them in nice and tight. And with this one, the person on the pads is basically doing this, using their body weight to go from side to side like that. And then what I'm doing is coming in, just hold them out a little. Yeah, and it's coming in like that. And you've got to move it. Like that. So they're the main boxing moves that we do. And then what you can do is, you'll see through the programs, there's a number of different ways that we've used all of those to make up a program for you. So you can do a combination. So if we'll just go through, we'll do say 10 of each punch just to show you. So jab crosses, uppercut, the hooks, height. That's about 10. Then the blocks, let's do some blocks. And rips. Okay, so that gives you a good idea as to how you can quickly put something together, and that's really just up to your imagination. But this is a really basic overview as to how you do your boxing. So go out and have some fun with it. Don't do anything crazy to your partner. Make sure you also, the last tip I'll give you, make sure just outstretch your arms. Now obviously if we're like this, that's too close because we're going to hit each other. So you want to be about arm's width. So it's impossible for me to hit Elizabeth unless I move in. Okay? We don't want to do that. All right. That's us out.